Frank ranks week 45. We have 7 comic books to talk about today. We got Marvel, we got DC, we got Independence. But who is going to take that top spot? Let's find out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca, an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to jump right into these 7 books right now, but I just kind of want to tell everybody that all these 7 books are good. I really didn't hate any of them. None of them I'm going to say are even bad. Just nothing's great. So nothing really stood out in this whole entire 7 that I read this week. They were just fine, you know. So again, they're all a recommend if you are picking some of them up or if you're following a run. But just nothing really stood out as great. So I think I kind of put them into a rank that it's most enjoyable to least enjoyable, in my opinion. All right, so let's jump into number 7. And number 7 is a DC book, as you can tell from the back, because they are heavily advertising Superman on HBO Max. Even though I'm going to do a video on the whole Netflix thing, but I want to get my thoughts together on that. But anyway, number 7 is by my buddy Jeremy Adams, and that is Green Lantern. So this is a one-shot. I do like Green Lantern and Green Arrow together. However, the beginning here started out really good. I had a lot, and then it jumped. He didn't continue what they were doing. They jumped into another storyline, or another portion of the storyline, and I kind of liked where it started more than where they jumped to, if that makes any sense. And the dialogue here, they're supposed to have like a banter, and I thought the dialogue was a little clunky here, but I do like them together, and for the most part, I enjoyed the book. It's just that I was expecting something more. There's so much you can do with these two characters, and I just expected something more. That's all. And that's why it's kind of in the it's good, it's fine, but not great category. So Jeremy, I just want just a little bit more. I wanted something a little bit more, a couple of twists or something like that in the storyline, just something. All right, so jumping into number 6. And that is another DC book, and it's DCKO. That's right, DCKO number 2. I'm just not a fan of the event stuff, and they just keep doing events. I know some people are really enjoying this, where it's like a bracket type of, this person versus this person, but it's just not doing it for me, and, it just really doesn't make any sense to me. That they're fighting over, apocalypse, whatever the heart of apocalypse is, it's in the center of the earth or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense to me that heroes would even sign up to fight other heroes. It just doesn't make any sense. They would figure out another way rather than just all in, going in. And knowing that these other people are eliminated, when they're eliminated, aren't they killed? I'm just not getting it. I just don't understand. And here we have the whole thing between Lex and Superman. I thought was decent to the point where he cut off Superman's hand. I was like, what? And I don't know. Again, some of it was decent, but overall, I'm just not really enjoying this. I just don't understand it. I didn't understand Absolute Power. I know a lot of people really like Absolute Power, but I just didn't understand robots being able to collect people's powers and taking them away. Oh, you're a Kryptonian? I'm going to rip out your DNA. Oh, you do magic? I'm going to make it so you can't use magic anymore and I can. It just doesn't make any sense. And that's how I feel here. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just, hey, what can I do to make people fight each other? That's really what this is. And It's just not working for me. I'm still going to collect it all the way through. I'm not really getting any of the tie-ins at all unless they are already something I'm buying. So it's just the events are just not made for me. I just if you're enjoying this, then I totally understand. But it's somebody explain to me the plot. All right, number 5. Number 5 is an independent. Actually, this is by Dynamite, and that is Supernatural number 2. So this is obviously based off the television show, and this is Sam and Dean, and this is kind of going back to the beginning of the series where they were looking for the person or the demon that killed their mom and killed Sam's girlfriend or whatever, and they go to Vegas because they need money. Because some of the credit cards have been turned off and stuff like that. So they go to spend some money because Dean says that he can count cards. Which is funny. And they end up running into this woman that is lucky, and she's giving people luck inside the casino. You find out that she is a ghost, and she's trying to get revenge. So my problem with it, of course, is that they just happen to run into her, and she just happens to be a ghost. Very coincidental. I think that the writer should have gone. I think it's Greg Pak. Should have gone a little bit further without them just kind of running into these things. I missed the days that they were kind of being called in to deal with certain things, or that they were reading about certain things, and then they would go because they realized that there was some supernatural element to the stories that were happening in certain states. I thought that was good. This just run to being a coincidence. It didn't really work for me. However, the storyline was okay, but Dean trying to read cards, count cards, is pretty funny. All right, we're going into number 4, and that is Flash Gordon, also by Jeremy Adams. This one was halfway up the list. Look at that. I'm still not a fan of the look of Ming on this, where he's got this very long blue face. I'm not a fan. That's what the one downturn to this. And then, of course, now we have these Mirror universe where Flash is Emperor in the Mirror universe, so he has to be evil. So it's very Star Trek type of thing. But he gets a whole force, and he goes through the portal to fight the other Ming. I like Zarkov in this, but I miss him in the robot body. I thought that was something that was really unique to this run. And I think they should have kept him that way. I think Jeremy should have kept him that way. We don't see Dale here at all, but I think she's going to be in the next one. So I kind of felt like this was a filler issue, kind of setting up for next issue. And if that's the case, then I'm looking forward to the next issue anyway. But that's how it felt to me, was that kind of a bridge issue, which is why it would have been higher up the list if there was more stuff that happened, but I just felt it was just a setup for next issue. All right, before we go into the final 3, remember too that I am a writer myself. If you'd like to check out anything that I've written, you can go to Amazon.com and just type my name in. You'll see my 4-novel sci-fi quadrilogy, Destiny Aurora. It's a sci-fi space adventure. So if you like Star Wars, Star Trek, Guardians of the Galaxy, you're going to love this. And it's also was made into a board game, an RPG, a graphic novel, and it's also on Audible. You could also check out my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor, The Iron Witch. So if you like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings, you're going to love this because it has magic and dragons and dragon riders and all this witches, of course. We have a invasion by the witch. I was working on a Audible for this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I got a little bit of a setback. All right, and also you can check out my new comic, Fairy Tales of Terror. We did very well on Kickstarter, and we're down to like the last 5 pages before I fulfill that one and send this out to the publisher. And we had little figures that we put out with it, little STLs that you can print out of Psycho Cinderella and Tiger Lily. So if you'd like those, check out fairytalesofterror.com. And get your copy now. I will be retiring certain covers, so don't delay on that, because once I fulfill, I'm going to close it up. All right, so let's jump back into number 3, and that is an independent. This is by Jeff Johns, and that is Geiger, number 18. And how I felt about Flash Gordon is how I felt about this book. So he got blasted in the last issue into the air and fell like, I don't know, like a mile away. Definitely like far from where he was, but didn't get harmed. So he gets picked up by these guys and he ends up in a prison, but he doesn't have the powers anymore. He can't change, and he doesn't have the rods either. So he gets framed for a murder of his cellmate, and they go to fry him, and of course when they fry him, they give him back his powers, and he just... But the problem is we never really see the warden really do anything wrong. We never see really anybody in the whole prison do anything wrong, except for the guy that kills his cellmate. I really need a little bit more setup for this to be a better book. Because it just... everything happened very quickly, and then he was, getting his rods back from the dog, Barney or whatever. I am looking forward to having, I think I forgot the name of the woman, or something Arden. I'm looking forward to her coming back. I thought that storyline was really, really good. So looking forward to that. But I did feel like this was a filler issue, just like a bridge issue, just like a Flash Gordon was. So I think the next issue will be better. All right, and going into number 2, DC made it all the way up to number 2 after being all the way into Beck. All right, and people are going to laugh at this one for me because most people don't like this, but I have a really good time with it. And that is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. Here we have King Ghidorah. We have King Ghidorah and Rodan in this. Godzilla's getting his ass kicked. Superman is... This is one of my problems. They have a Titan serum. I really don't like that idea. If you're going to bring in stuff like that, you might as well just bring in the Atom or whatever else that could change his size, rather than giving a Titan serum to... There's another guy, too, that from the JSA that can grow. There was a couple of things that you could have done here rather than trying to make Superman super tall. Anyway, I really don't like that idea, but they're using it up quite a bit. And I think it's Brian Bosolito or whatever else is the writer on this. It is lots of fun because you also have Green Lantern, who's kind of got this big robot body that is a construct, and he's fighting in there. I like a lot of that. And then you have Supergirl and Wonder Woman trying to pull them down with the lasso. I liked all that, and King Ghidorah fighting. There's a lot of really, really good stuff in here. It's just lots of fun. It's just dumb fun. That's how I see this and how I kind of describe this book. I like the first one too. The second one, I just have a problem with the whole Titan serum. I don't think that's a great idea. All right, so number 1. Oh my God, I only did 15 minutes this time. This is amazing. So number 1 is actually Marvel. The one Marvel book I picked up ended up being number 1. This is by Palmiotti, and that is Daredevil and the Punisher. The artwork in here is really good. And the Punisher is only in here in one scene. That's it. It's all from the Daredevil's point of view. he finds out that Frank is going after a crime family and picking them off one by one. And Daredevil gets some hits in on him, but he almost lets him do it because he has a button that he's got some kind of a speaker on him or whatever else, and it sends out a pulse that make it basically and makes Daredevil inert because it cuts off his radar or whatever sonar, and so then he ties him up while he assassinates the other guy, so he can't even stop him. And then when he wakes up, he is tied up in this warehouse where the other guys are having a meeting about them taking over. Now the other family's gone, taking over all of their property and their territory. And it's like, and he says, Frank wanted me to hear this about, basically the city going to war on itself. So I'm looking forward to the next issue. This is really a setup book, though. Not a whole lot happens. It's really him through the whole beginning of the book trying to track down the Punisher and what his next move would be. So we only really get any action towards the end. But it is a good setup book. And that's why I was like, is this number one? Is this number one? Because, again, it was more of a bridge issue. Kind of just like Flash Gordon and Geiger. So, anyway, but I liked it. I liked it for the most part, and I think there's some good potential here. And the artwork is really, really good as well. All right, that's it for me. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can't subscribe, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. And share this video out there. Also, remember to check out my stuff on Amazon. Just type my name in on Amazon.com. Also, jump into Fairy Tales of Terror if you can. Before I close things up there, go to fairytalesofterror.com. All right, have a great week, everybody, and happy holidays.